Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Brainstorm Brewery, and it is Merfolk time. This is the Merfolk episode, right? That's what I was told, anyways. Rivals of Ixalan is coming out, and we're going to talk all about Merfolk.
Oh, okay. I'll go then.
I hate you so much, and I hate that for...
Talk to you guys later.
Well, that's... all right. This is
I guess anything the professor
wants,
he gets. He's like, there should be Pauper, and they're like, great, Pauper's like, I like Merfolk, and they're like, how about a whole block?
Hey, man, when you're a shill, sometimes it pays off. But that's Jason.
Everyone on coverage has to have elbow patches from now on. They're like, fine.
The sub-host DJ is here, and we have a guest. Jacob Van Lunen, welcome back to the show. I thought we had done a set review with Jake in the past year, and he comes up and tells me, oh, that was like cons. That was forever ago. Like,
no, it was... Yeah, what's that? Kids. It was Dragon's Maze. I swear it was Dragon's Maze.
Jake, when was it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because he was like the only one that... Yeah, because you liked Voice of Resurgence. I was like, all right, if you say so.
Sure, all right.
I swear it was...
All right, well, anyways, I mean, good, Jake right? Is... for those who don't know, he's a commentator for coverage and a former Pro Tour champion. So this is all the... you get to listen to us and our really deep insights about these cards. But if you want to actually know if they're good or not, we can also talk to Jake here. So
and if he's wrong, we'll get blamed for it like we did for Smuggler's Copter.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that'll be good. I'm not going to say the name of the pro, but
both
of his initials are S.
That was Shaheen. Thanks, Shaheen. Yeah. He said
he's like, 3 toughness cards suck, and I was like, all right, I thought Smuggler's Copter was good. He's like, 3 toughness creatures suck. I was like, all right.
He called Torrential Gearhulk at like $4, but then he said Smuggler's Copter was bad.
Oh man,
he didn't actually. He didn't say that. I was like, well, if 3 toughness creatures suck, that must mean Smuggler's Copter sucks. He's like, I don't know. That's not going in the control deck I'm building with Torrential Gearhulk. I was like, all right.
That might have been a little.
I didn't fight him at all. I could have fought him.
Asking his opinion on non-control cards was also possibly a mistake. Yeah, fair.
It's just like suspect.
All right, well, we're going to start at the top of this very exciting set. We're just going to work our way down price-wise. Starting with...
No. Don't say anything yet. Hey, listeners. I want you to mentally, in your mind, like, picture the card that's worth the most money TCG player pre-sale on Monday. Just think about it. And you probably got it wrong. Corbin, what actually is it?
What it actually is a Planeswalker deck Planeswalker, because I don't know what world we live in, but I guess it's one where Angrath, Minotaur Pirate, the 6-mana thing, is worth
6 mana with a -11 ultimate. Yeah, that's our new leader. Sorry, guys, I've been drinking for 2 hours.
Is this going to be another Chromanticore set review?
Hey, man, yeah, maybe. They got a Chromanticore card. They got a card with 8 keyword abilities. I'm ready.
Is this even worth talking about? Like, I mean, Angrath and Vraska, they're both $11. They'll both 6-mana Planeswalkers. They're both intro deck Planeswalkers.
Weeks, right?
Do what?
Because the intro deck is going to enforce a price. What's in the intro deck? Like 2 boosters?
2 boosters, the Planeswalker, some Planeswalker-specific cards, and then... They're
charging,
themselves.
like, the same TCG players charging $15 market price for the deck, and then they want $12. So, like, just for the Angrath and the booster pack.
Well, there's copies available for 10.
I'm just saying what market is, man.
Yeah, whatever, man.
There's copies of each Planeswalker available for 10 shipped.
10 shipped?
Sure. Woo. So if you really want your Angrath and your Vraska, have at it.
Just go buy the Planeswalker because you get a booster pack. You could get anything in there. It might even be the playable Vraska. I kind of like the ultimate on the dual deck Vraska for EDH.
Right, well, let's talk about the actual. Yeah. Let's talk about the actual set here now. I'm just saying, of the entire set, there is one card that is worth more than all the others, and it's my preview card.
Despite being your preview card, it's worth money.
Just deal with that, yeah. Kumina, Tyrant of Orazka, 2/4, 1 blue-green, tap another Merfolk you control. It becomes unblockable this turn. Tap 3 on tap Merfolk you control, draw a card, tap 5 on tap Merfolk you control, put a 1/1 counter on each Merfolk you control. The great part about this is it doesn't have summoning sickness, right? If you can tap other Merfolk, you can tap it. Its abilities just work as soon as it comes into play, provided you have the Merfolk.
So everyone's been brewing pretty spicy brews, but everyone's going like Voltron with this, and I don't want to go Voltron. I want to go full like Paradox Engine Benefactor's Draft on a Isochron Scepter, Merfolk token, tap town. Like, you can KO somebody with this by just making it huge and making it unblockable, but I kind of like tapping a bunch of Merfolk. So this actually is probably the best Merfolk tribal build around commander they've ever printed. So I think all the Merfolk people that have terrible Sig decks are actually waiting for a card like this. So that makes green cards that interact with Merfolk good finally.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that legend is like
I actually
the
agree.
third best
It's
Merfolk
not.
in the set.
It's not great. I think you...
No, actually, okay, I'm going to say it's the fourth best
Wow.
Merfolk in the set.
Okay.
So it's worse than the Uncommon Lord.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
It's worse than the one that double
the
explores.
The
It is worse
Hexproof
than the
Flash
Uncommon
Guy
Lord.
and worse than the Double Explore.
It's worse than...
Oh, I forgot about Silver
That's
Gull.
fair.
Yeah,
Double
yeah,
Explorer
yeah.
is worse than Silver Gull.
For which format? Standard and Modern and Legacy and
I know
shit?
the Silver Gull Depth is
Well,
a
just
reprint, but
standard, right? Yeah.
I'd say just at large, just
Yeah.
in games of Magic the
Yeah,
Gathering.
it's. I mean, so you're
I
right.
don't
Silver
know.
Gull's probably the best. The Double Explore guy's great, but I don't know. Kumina's $11.
Double
I guess
Explore
because we
guy
want
is
to play with him in
beast mode.
Commander, or because I just did such a good job previewing it.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah.
Does this hold?
Yeah.
Can this?
No,
hold?
this is like a $3 card.
That's probably what it is.
So yeah, so like what? All right, this is going down. So something's got to go up, otherwise.
This is like a $2 or $3 card. Why did something have to go up?
because boxes cost
Well, I mean-
a discrete amount of money, right? Like
People won't open the set to sell it if no one wants to buy it. Right?
But there was
I guess
Dragon's
DJ's
Maze
saying
at
it's
least
just-
had a voice of resurgence. So like, what is this set's
Yeah.
voice of resurgence?
I know. I'm trying to like get you to explain the whole like voice of resurgence concept.
I thought you were arguing
you
with
just,
me.
like,
You're like being
made-
all Socratic, so I can explain it to our. All right.
Yes.
So basically, a booster box costs an amount of money, and then you have to buy the booster box as either a dealer or like a person, and then open it up. And you're not going to spend $100 on a booster box if there's $22 worth of cards inside. So when people aren't excited about opening up booster boxes, all of a sudden the chase cards become scarce because no one's busting boxes and liberating those copies. So that drives the price up, which gets people interested in open boxes. It's a whole supply-demand feedback loop. So basically, excitement is going to get boxes opened up initially. But if nothing in the set steps up and is like, I'm worth more than $10, no one's going to buy these booster boxes, and then everything's going to be real scarce. So I got a feeling a bad set like Dragon's Maze had Voice of Resurgence at like 30, 40, $50 because people weren't buying the boxes, and then everyone's like, there are no Voice of Resurgences because no one wants to buy the stupid boxes. So something has to give, and if the only $11 card in the set is going to go down in price, something's got to go up to pick up the slack. And there's
the
gotta be
only
some,
possible
right?
counter. The only possible counter argument, right, is if just nobody wants anything in the set, then just if no one's buying it, you have no reason to open it, right?
and then we just ignore it.
That's the
and
thing.
then-
We'll see.
yeah.
I don't know. So all right. I think we all agree that this is not great. All right. What about this one though? Huatli, Radiant Champion, the 4-mana green-white planeswalker starts with 3 loyalty +1. Put a loyalty counter on it for each creature you control. -1, target creature gets +X/+X, or X is the number of creatures you control. And -A, you get an emblem with whenever a creature enters battlefield under your control, you may draw a card.
This feels like it's reminiscent of Gideon, Champion of the Gate Crash, or not. Yeah, Gate Watch, Gate Crash, whatever. The Return to Ravnica one.
Just kind of seems like a win more. You got to be doing really well for it to do
Yeah.
anything. You got to have like a board going on. Like good planeswalkers like make you a board.
Yeah, I think this card's reasonable.
Like, I'm not like thrilled with it, but it's not like a card that I'm like, oh, this card's
Do you think it?
But, I mean,
it
do you
could
think it's
theoretically
fine
see
cards?
play in some sort of standard deck, right?
I don't know.
Do you think it's the
fine.
second best card in the set?
Yeah.
Is kind of what financially what matters to us. Is this the second best card in the set?
I see.
I mean, I don't want to buy them at 10.
No.
I mean, that's just
no,
like
that's what I'm
it's
saying.
crazy because like we used to say I don't want to buy planeswalkers at like 40 because there used to be like the whole Planeswalker tax where Jace the Mind Sculptor was insane forever ago, and so like every Planeswalker pre-ordered for some insane number, just because vendors didn't want to get burned, and now we're just saying like I don't want this at 10. Like I
What's
still
the
don't want
last
it at
good
10.
Planeswalker they printed?
Chandra
Saheeli
Torch
Rai?
Defiance.
What's the Healy after Chandra?
Chandra's pretty broken.
Vraska? Vraska's
Yeah, Vraska's
not-
pretty good.
That's
Yeah,
fair,
Vraska's
but it
not
wasn't
bad
like a
card.
pre-order like Vraska immediately
Vraska's
kind
like-
of card though.
one of the best cards in Standard. Like once we don't have like stupid glory bringers in Standard, Vraska's gonna be like even better.
Yeah, that's true.
Vraska's
Vraska's
very,
very good.
very,
She's
very good
expensive.
card.
That's the only issue, right? 6-mana Planeswalkers historically have
Need
to
to- yeah.
to do much, right?
Oh, well, I mean, I think it's a very good card. Like, I think that when Glorybringer leaves Standard, it's going to be even better than it is now, and I think it's already made quite a big deal in Standard. Like, I think it's already like one of the cards in Standard that matters a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty key, especially it's at the top end of those decks. I mean, if the format changes, it may be worse, but pretty good right now.
I think it's just gonna. I think like it. The best card against it in all of Standard is a card that like is currently a 4 of in like a ton of decks, and even
Right.
with that being the case, it's still like seeing a ton of play. Right?
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. All right, so let's move on to one that people are talking about as the next coming here of Blood Moon. But the third most expensive card in the set is Blood Sun from Rivals of Ixalan.
This isn't the second coming of Blood Moon. This is the second coming of Solemnity.
Maybe. It cycles. When Blood Sun comes into play, 3 mana, draw a card. All lands lose all abilities except mana abilities. So, interestingly, this is a card that Tron can play, that red-green Tron can play in Modern, to shut down the cards that are good against Tron, like Ghost Quarter, because the stupid Tron lands are mana abilities. But Blood Sun does stop Ramanap Red from burning you out with Ruins, and, stops Shevet Dunes and all that Ifnir Deadlands and so on.
I think that's a better application than all the cute stuff people are trying to do, like, ooh, Scorched Ruins and Lotus Veil. Like, yeah, if you've got those, sell into the hype, for sure. This is Solemnity 2.0. Why don't you look at the price graph of Decree of Silence and Glacial Chasm and all the crap that, Solemnity was propping up. That was a quick sell now. This is doing the same thing. I think it's good with some cards, but I think all the cute combo stuff people are trying to do for EDH, I think you just want to sell. Get out!
Yep.
Jake,
Nobody's gonna build a legacy big red deck based around Scorch Ruins and this. Like,
Lotus Veil.
yeah, it's not gonna happen.
Does this
'Cause then you
matter
gotta-
in Modern?
No,
But that's where Tron is.
it doesn't. Like $10 matter in Modern.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm
yeah,
just curious, Jake,
definitely.
do you think it gets played in Modern?
Yeah. It's probably gonna see some amount of Modern.
He was
role-playing,
probably
but, like,
asking
it's-
our guest who was actually good at Magic.
that is accurate.
I didn't
so
hear
this-
you like ask his name though, because
Yeah, so I don't know. It doesn't feel like something I'd want to be playing as Tron. Like Tron's one of those decks where like your sideboard cards are dealing with like very specific things, and like if you're trying to sideboard in like a Teferi's Response type card, like you want it to be
Sure.
like more all encompassing than this, I think. That's my take.
So, I mean, the idea that red-green Tron will play this to shut down Ghost Quarters, do you think there's any merit to that?
People are gonna try it. I don't necessarily think it's like a good plan.
Okay.
Because it costs 3.
I think if this doesn't sort of actually find a consistent home in Modern and it's just a thing some people play, I mean, this does absolutely destroy fetch lands. So, and it cycles, right? If you're playing, say, Ponza and you're running 4 Blood Moons anyways, you could reasonably play this deck. The only problem is you play fetch lands as well, right? But, I mean, you could build a deck to play both Blood Moon and Blood Sun. That seems possible.
And
but
Magus of the Moon. Why not? We'll have 12 Moon.
Wheel of Sun and Moon too.
I already had
12 Moon
I already had
deck.
12 Moon. Eldritch Evolution made 12
I
Moons
think,
exist because you had Blood Moons
Tommy
and
of the
Eldritch
Crescent
Evolution
Moon
to
also.
get. Do what?
I thought we were just naming cards that had the word moon on them.
Oh,
I did.
yeah, we could do
I said
that.
Wheel of Sun and Moon.
Yeah. No, we'll see then. I guess it's hyped at $10, but all right. Let's talk about the next card in the set, which is DJ's favorite card.
This is my favorite card printed in the past like 2 years.
All right, the Immortal Sun, 6-mana artifact. Players can activate Planeswalker abilities at the beginning of your draw step. Draw an additional card. Spells you cast cost 1 less. Creatures you control get 1/1. It's pre-ordering at $8.50. What do we think about?
It might hold if the rest of the set's garbage, right? Because this is like a guaranteed chase card for EDH players. Like,
yeah, I'm not playing this in any of my decks, and I don't think it's that insane in EDH. It's not like a Paradox Engine or anything, but it's real. It's just gonna be played a lot. Like, it's not Paradox Engine level in power, but it's gonna be Paradox level and Paradox Engine level in demand. Like, this is just gonna be every Timmy's wet dream. Like, it just does all the things that people are gonna do. Like, I want to buy every single one of these at the shop and then just immediately resell them out of the case. Like, this is going to be a thing for the next several years.
It's just going to be, and it's going to be a card that a competitive player is going to get in a booster. It's like, oh, I got a crap mythic in my pack, and then you just trade them a standard card. Go straight across the board. Trade them $8 in standard crap. That's all going to tank, and then pick these up.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Here's next one up. Well, I guess the question is in DJ before we move on. Where do you think it settles in the midterm? I mean, is this Cage
He
Sun?
was saying $5-ish last week, right?
I said 5 to 6 last week. I think I said 5 or 6, but now that the rest of the set seems like trash, I think it just goes to like 6 or 7 maybe. I don't think it changes that much, but like 6 or 7 seems fine a month down the road. Like, if you need them to play with in EDH right out of the gate, 8's not that bad of a pickup.
Okay.
It is a mythic, and it is an artifact, and it is going to get played.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of mythic artifacts, the next one is Azores Gateway.
That was
2-mana
a great
artifact,
segue.
1 mana tap, draw a card, discard a card. I'm sorry, draw a card, then exile a card from your hand. Then, if cards with 5 or more different converted mana costs have been exiled, transform it. And when you transform this,
you gain 5 life and then transform it.
You gain 5. Correct. You gain 5 life and transform it. And when you transform it, it can tap to add mana equal to any colored mana equal to your life total. So this is Snap going into my Olero deck, that's for sure. But I actually think this is like maybe Search for Azcanta 2.0.
Also, it untaps when you transform it, so it's not like Treasure Map where you get the third scry and tap it, and then you like have to untap. You just like get a freebie when you actually go off with it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
want to be doing
is...
stupid unhinged crap like this in standard.
This card seems not the worst.
This card's good.
I don't know. It's pretty big, and like it's like a weird card in that, you know, you'd want to build your deck in such a way to take advantage of it if you were going to play it.
Right.
And it's like a legendary thing that's like a loot effect that requires that like basically stone rains you if you want to use it every turn. And I don't know. I think it's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's true. It is a lot worse than Search in that case.
Yeah.
And plus, in standard, what are you going to do with 20 mana?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. It's like you
or
want
like
to play
14 mana after they're
or
beating
like
your face
6 mana because you've been getting your dick stumped on by a long tusk cub because you're dicking around discarding all your cards.
I think that
exiling
like
them.
I mean, I guess like the whole idea is that like you dump the mana into like a Zor or something or like some fireball.
Right, that's the idea.
It seems kind of
well,
bad to
it
me.
gains you life. You use it if you can, get. It's the kind of thing I can see it being maybe a one of and just because it's got some value, maybe a 2 of, but it gains you life, which is relevant when it flips. And then you dump it into a Zor, but you also have counter magic up if they have the Vraska's Contempt or whatever. It's just you dump it all into one of the big finishers. And there's also the new control, basically the old Pearl Lake Ancient card, right? The like control on control finisher that they put in the set.
I think if I'm looting, I want to be discarding excess lands. I don't like looting 3 gas cards and then having this get blown up.
Yeah. Well, that's fair too.
I want to go real deep with this
a card, right?
Hailfire, but
I think this is probably like
I don't
$4 or
want to discard
$5
some
though. I don't
gas
think
and
it's tanking.
Yeah.
It's probably not going to tank to bulk.
this is the card that like if it is good though, then we all look like idiots. Like this is the card.
Which one? Azores Gateway?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know if this is
mean,
the
it's
card.
not.
Like if we're all just completely
just
wrong
not.
there, and then like if this ends up being like played a ton, this is like the $30 mythic of the set.
It's bad. Yeah, it's just terrible. Like Sorry.
All right.
I don't want to like
I think
knock it
it's-
too much.
I think
but
it's very good.
Really, really
I
bad.
don't know about
like
its standard.
it's a bad
As a
card.
card, though, right? If we're looking at Commander, this card is very good.
No, it's not. It's just
Yeah,
bad.
it's
It's
good
a
because
bad card.
It's not 5 consecutive CMCs. It's 5 different. You have 7 and 8 mana cards in
Yeah, it's
EDH. You
very
don't have
easy to
that
flip
shit,
in.
and yeah.
Yeah, and then you just get infinite black mana
All right,
for
fine.
your.
Like it is. You cannot flip it basically unless you're full blown building your deck around it until 4 turns after you cast it, and that's if you're paying 3 for it the turn you cast it, and you're stone raining yourself for the next 4 turns, and then you get to like make a ton of mana, like, and that's
which you still have
only
to have
if-
something.
Yeah, that's only
Yeah.
if you have like the correct mix of casting cost to like loot away with it over the course of time.
Yeah.
So it's like at least for 4 turns, and then you need to have some sort of payoff card with it. It's like
Yeah.
I'm not saying
No,
you
it's-
buy now. I'm just
yeah.
No,
I'm just saying
he's
that
saying
like
that you're.
I'm just saying
in
that
standard,
like
it's
that,
bad.
no, I'm just saying that in every type of constructed and or limited, it is bad. It is just like a card with a bunch of text on it. That sounds really cool. That I guess like I'm sure there's somebody who plays casually who this will be fun for, but this is
I'm going
not
to force
a card
you to play
that is good.
Commander with me.
Okay,
I'm going to
wonderful.
exsanguinate you for like 60 with this card. And then
No,
you're
like-
going to
Sure.
understand.
Okay.
Compare this to something that actually like is decent, like Oracle's Vault,
Well,
Yeah.
the big,
which is
the
way
big
better
difference
than
is
this
that
and got
unlike
no standard play. So
it has a
I
similar.
think a lot of people are going to read this card and think that it's Jace Vryn's Prodigy, and it's not.
Well, I think it's if you look at Search for Azcanta, it's the same idea, right?
Yeah.
It's a 2-mana thing that can provide card selection and then has a payoff. It's just way worse than that.
Yeah.
And a large part is because you have to dump
mana
into it.
and like instead, it's just worse.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. But I do think it's going to hold $4 to $5 on Commander play.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so next one up is Twilight Profit. Another mythic of Vampire Cleric, 4 mana, flying Ascend. And of course, Ascend is if you control 10 or more permanents, you get City's Blessing for the rest of the game. So the note here is Ascend shows up on instants and sorceries as well. And then if you have 10 permanents when you cast it, you get the City's Blessing. But it's also on permanents where if you just, whenever you cast it, as long as this card is in play and you have 10 or more permanents, you get the City's Blessing. And then even if you go below 10 permanents, you still have the City's Blessing. All right,
Yeah.
so this is a 2/4 flyer for 4. And at the beginning of your upkeep, if you have the City's Blessing, reveal the top card of your library and put it into your hand. Each opponent loses X life, and you gain X life, where X is that card's converted mana cost. Now, I think the reason that this is pre-selling at $8 and people are hyped up on it, despite the fact the stats on it not being great, is that vampires can make a lot of tokens, and you can get the City's Blessing on like turn 4, right?
Yeah.
You can get City's Blessing when you play this card.
I kind of
You go-
I
like.
mean, that
For-
and there's always, like, the Bob of the set that's always pre-selling for an absurd amount.
Well, this is better, right? Because this is opponent loses life.
No,
and you gain
yeah.
it.
I just think
well,
anytime we see
Bob
a black
is Bob
card
on
that, like,
turn 2. This isn't.
No,
even good
I
on
know,
turn
but I'm
4.
saying, like, every time we have a black card that says, at your upkeep, reveal your top card, put it in your hand, every other word on it is irrelevant. Like, we just see that card pre-selling for way more.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like, Dust Mantle Seer, Pain Seer, doesn't matter what it is. Like, we always see this kind of card pre-sell for too much.
I do
and
know
you
that-
kind of see a Pain Sea, Dusk Mantle. It doesn't matter. If it sees
People are gonna
something,
be excited
it pre-sells.
Yeah, people are going
I
to
don't
be
know.
excited.
I don't know. See, I don't want to talk about standard.
think
Because I'm like,
this-
oh, you're gonna play this with Revel and Riches. No, you're not.
I think it's
So,
very possible.
I am, but like standard players aren't.
I think it's very possible that this card sees constructed play. I don't think it's like
Yep.
insane. It probably will not hold that level of value.
Right.
I think it's almost certain that it will not. But I do think this card will likely see constructed play over the course of its like however much time happens.
So based
Yeah.
on what you've seen in Black and White, how often and how early in a game do you think people will be getting that City's Blessing?
Look, if you go turn 1 Legion's Landing, that's 3 permanents on turn 1. You then
Yeah,
do
that's
whatever
pretty
on
good.
turn 2, you're up to 5 permanents. On turn 3, you can play something to make a couple more. On turn 4, you can have 4 lands, 6 to 7 permanents in this. So I'm sure if you really twist your deck around it, you can probably get it. But I do think you can reliably have it on turn 5. And like I can definitely see this in the Noketra's Monument deck.
If this is-
Where,
this could be
because
your-
most of the
pretty
vampires are
easily.
white. Most of the vampires
Yeah.
are white. But you can play white-black, and this card is black, clearly. So, you don't get the sweet discount from Catcher's Monument, but Catcher's Monument will spit out permanents for you, and that was already a deck. Like, mono white vampires with Catcher's Monument was already a competitive deck. Now you can add Twilight Profit to it.
Turn 5, you should have 5 lands plus the Monument plus some other creatures. You play this, so Monument gets you 9 and 10. So that's
this is 4 mana. Yeah, you can actually play this on turn 4. But then, yes,
but you don't want to play it
turn,
before you have
Cities
right? Because you'd have to play another Ascend spell then.
No, you don't. You didn't listen to the intro. This is a permanent. As long as you hit 10 permanents when this is in play, you get the City's Blessing. It's a static ability.
Oh, it's not a play trigger?
No, it's just whenever. Like, as long as this card is in play or on the stack or whatever,
and
like when it
resolves.
Get
it, and then you can't lose it.
Any time, you will just get that emblem.
That's what...
That's what they explained.
I was wondering about that, because something like That's fine. I like it. So you can play it whenever you want, then. I was wondering about that. Okay.
Yeah, you can play it whenever you want, and then, like, if you just happen to get the City's Blessing later on while you have the card in play, it's like, oops, I have it for the rest of the game.
So at any time when they check state-based effects, if you have 10, you get and keep City's Blessing.
Yep. Yeah, it's just a static ability. So,
cool.
I'm with Jake. I think it sees standard play. If not now, certainly at rotation. I think the power level's there, and you're still going to have all those vampire cards to just spit out permanents.
And I think there's probably like some Abzan deck somewhere. I think there's very possibly like an Abzan deck at some point that's just good that plays this.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. All right, cool. So I think it may be one of those that dips but then rebounds, so keep an eye on it, but we do think it's playable.
Well, just like, it dips if there's other good stuff in the set, but like what... We talk about how every card so far is going to go down in price.
Well, we usually do, especially at the top. But this, I mean, the thing is, we're talking about a standard format dominated by energy, and we're talking about a standard format where energy doesn't have any hate cards for it yet. Maybe they ban something that's relevant immediately, but maybe they don't, and in October this breaks out, And then as a mythic from Rivals being a small set, it would probably jump pretty high. So it's one of those you keep in the back pocket and don't forget about. All right, moving on. Angrath the Flame Chained. This is the actual Angrath Planeswalker of the set. 5 mana, red, black, 3, 4 loyalty, -1. Each opponent discards a card and loses 2 life. I'm sorry, that's the plus 1. -3. Gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap it. It gains haste. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step if it has converted mana cost 3 or less. -8. Each opponent loses life equal to the number of cards in his or her graveyard.
This is
kind of solid, right?
Wow, that's a really Rakdos card. I love it.
Yeah, it's
I don't know if I'm gonna want to play in standard, but I like doing all that stuff.
It's Slave of Bolus on a stick, right, on a Planeswalker.
Yeah, you Blightning Slave of Bolus, or I don't know, some 8 mana spell they haven't even printed.
Card seems
Rakdos Charm for your yard. I don't know. I like it. $8 seems reasonable for a Planeswalker. That's a good endpoint. It doesn't seem like a start point. It seems like a $32 guy that drops to 8, and you're like, glad I didn't buy it 32.
Oh, it's worth
people are ahead
worth
of the curve
$32.
No,
but it's like Planeswalkers used to be. Like we do the set reviews, like I don't think this is worth $30, and then 2 weeks later it's $8. And we're like, that's about right. But it's starting at 8, so it's like, that's about right, I guess.
I mean, no.
What do you think about it in standard, Jake?
What? I think that this card is a card that right now is probably pretty bad. Like at this exact moment in time, because I think that I would never ever want to play this against, like any sort of energy deck. And it's weird because you don't want to play against the energy deck, even though they're playing like tons of like 3 converted mana cost creatures. It still just like matches up pretty poorly against them, I think. Maybe it doesn't.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, it does.
I don't know. I'm reading it. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying is that even having that, I don't think it's great in those matchups. Like let's say they like have a Whirler Virtuoso out, and you like cast this guy and take their Whirler Virtuoso and attack them, and then kill their Whirler Virtuoso. Then the token they get off their Whirler Virtuoso still kills this guy. So they paid 3 mana with their uncommon to kill your like Planeswalker. and like that was like you using your ability, your Planeswalker ability on like their best 3-mana creature, right? So like as long as Whirler Virtuoso is a thing, I think this guy's probably not the most exciting thing in the world.
Right.
So you think we take a second look at him post rotation?
Yeah.
Or post banning.
Or post banning.
I don't.
There's a
You think
lot.
they're
It's
gonna
actually interesting. There are a
Virtuoso?
lot of people.
Like,
Yeah.
I think if they ban anything, it'll be a Tune with Aether.
Yeah, of course. A lot of people were clamoring for a ban and thought it was happening, and it didn't. I think it's more likely, since, especially keep in mind, the next Pro Tour is Modern, and the one after that is Team Trios. There's not going to be a lot of high-level focus on Standard. It can kind of stay in the background for the next 6 months, but really the next 3 months until Dominaria, and I would expect some pretty strong energy-focused hate cards in Dominaria to shift things around.
Doesn't
All right.
Kaladesh rotate with Dominaria?
Nope, it was designed to. Like, Kaladesh was designed with the 18-month rotation in mind, so it was originally going to rotate out with Dominaria, but then they reverted that and backpedaled, so now we're stuck with it for until
October.
whatever the fall set is.
It's 1 year, yearly rotation again. They've been back and forth on it, but that's where we're at. All right. So moving on, Time Stream Navigator. Now this is a pretty nice casual one. People are excited about. At least I've seen some Commander players. So Jason, you could talk all about this one. 2 mana.
Well, here's the
1/1.
deal. You copy it with Progenitor Mimic.
Yeah.
Really like
Yep.
that.
So Ascend. Then 2 blue and a tap. Put it on the bottom of its owner's library. Take an extra turn after this one. Activate only if you have City's Blessing. So it can be a sweet extra turn. Seems solid. What do you...
Is this happening?
Yo, I want
in
to mimic
Standard?
pod this guy. I want to mimic pod him.
Yeah.
Or Mimic Vat? Yeah.
Do you mean Mimic Vat?
Mimic that. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah,
Yeah.
that thing.
Yeah, that sounds pretty
Mimic
sweet,
Vat,
actually.
Progenitor Mimic. You just want to make copies of this dude a return or
Inala?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I hate that
Better than
stupid,
Wonder Wine
stupid
Prophets. It
wizard
doesn't even
deck.
have to attack.
Oh, wow.
It's summoning sick
So-
though.
No,
No.
the token has haste.
Yeah.
Oh, for Manala, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's... You play the
That's
card, you copy it with Anala,
Yeah,
you get your turn immediately.
I understand. I was talking
Not
about
infinite,
other ways to
but
copy
pretty
it,
good.
yeah.
You just throw it away to blink in. There you go.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't,
basically.
I don't like it at $8, but
Yeah, I think it's
Well,
probably
I mean,
good
what do
in
I
casual formats. I like it.
Yeah, probably like a $5 card.
but
All right.
This seems like a $5 card that, like, once it
everything in the
rotates and
set
people
seems like a $5 card, which means the set value is like $40. Like a box is $40. So like, what is going to be actual money?
Direfleet Daredevil.
What?
Which
I
one?
could.
Direfleet Daredevil. That card might be real money.
Yeah, that's a non-mythic, but that's. I think they gave us enough red and black, low curve pirates to like make a stab at it. Because
All right, well,
there's
let's go ahead
the
and-
Direfleet Poisoner too.
Let's go
Yeah,
ahead and
I mean,
skip.
the
That's not, that's
Poisoner's
just a
a
few down
fine
the list.
card.
Let's go ahead and skip then. Let's skip to Direfleet Daredevil. It is a 2 mana, 2/1 human pirate. First strike. When it enters the battlefield, exile or target instant or sorcery from an opponent's graveyard. You may cast that card this turn, and you may spend mana over any color of any whatever. You can pay whatever colors for it. If that card be put into a graveyard, exile it instead. So it's a better version of whatever that card from I think Origins. I don't remember what set it was.
Yeah,
It was the same deal where you revealed the top card of your library and you could play it this turn. And you play it on
Oh,
turn 3.
Abbot
and
of
you
Carol
could-
Keep.
Yeah. This is similar to that, except
Well, this is
it
you're
doesn't
taking
have prowess,
something
it
out
has
of their yard,
first
so
strike.
they can't do
Yeah.
anything. It keeps them from doing graveyard shenanigans.
Yeah, it's similar in that it's a 2-drop that on turn 2 can be fairly aggressive, whether it's prowess or first strike, but then later in the game gains a lot of value. And I think this could definitely, I mean, it's $7 already, but it is very strong. I don't know.
There's
if we'll
a
see red,
1-drop
black
pirate
pirates be a
too.
thing.
I like.
I don't even think it has to be
I
a pirate
like,
deck. I think that this is just a very good card. I think this card will see play in Modern.
Okay.
Oh wow.
I
Yeah,
can
I
see
could-
I
that.
think
If you get
like
their bold, if you get their, because
No, you
everything
just-
you're gonna be able to afford. It's gonna be like a 1 or 2 or 3 mana spell when you play this, right? So like you're gonna get their Thoughtseize or their Bolt or their.
That's-
Yeah, it's going to come in and path or push something. It's
Yeah, you play it on turn 3.
This
and
is
you
probably
get a
better in
Serum
Modern than it is
Visions.
in Standard, really, because there are more juicy targets when you can afford to play the spell and also pay the 2 mana for this.
Yeah, like in like Grixis or Jund Shadow sideboards, this card just seems like really sweet for mirrors. Like like Snapcaster Mage is the best card in those matchups post board, and like you just get to play 8.
You Thoughtseize turn 1, and then
yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Seems sweet.
Yeah, I like this card a lot too. This was on my I wrote down 3 cards I thought might be good in like formats I don't play, and this was one of them.
Well, it could very much be a hostage taker situation where it's just the best rare to come out of the set, and or possibly best card if you want to. I mean, hostage taker certainly was out at the beginning, and it spiked to like $15. You know, the difference here with this set is there's not a Pro Tour to drive it, but especially if you know, but there is a Modern Pro Tour, and if people are playing in the Modern Pro Tour, it will get hyped because it's a new card, and that could easily drive that price up. You know, it may be $5 6 months from now or 3 months from now or whatever, like hostage shaker, but it could easily go to 12 to 14 before it comes back down.
Yeah, I'm guessing this card is double-digit dollars in price in 16 hours. From right now.
16 hours?
From right now.
Oh, no, but that's before the set review comes out.
Yeah, I think before this comes out, this card is going to be double-digit. So if this podcast isn't getting released until then, I think by the time this podcast gets released, this card will be worth over $10.
Ooh. Wow, okay.
Yeah.
It is very good.
So we should be... Wow. We should talk about... I think our Discord people should get that info then.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
If you're supporting our Patreon at patreon.com/Brainstorm Brewery, you should get these kind of hot tips that can't wait until the podcast is published.
All right, well, we'll see. I like going on record there, Jake. That's good.
Yeah, no, man. I mean, this card is good. This card is I think a card that everybody is going to be talking about, like round about 45 seconds from right now.
Okay, I like that. All right. Let's talk about the big flashy mythic of the set that could see constructed play. Azor the Lawbringer.
I don't like this card.
So
it's so EDH-y.
2 mana, 2 white, 2 blue, 6/6 flying Sphinx. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent cannot cast instant or sorcery spells during their next turn. When it attacks, you can Sphinx's Revelation.
Because that's when I want to be casting Sphinx's Revelation, is in my declare attacker step.
Well, consider this.
I always tap out of my pre-combat main phase, don't you? I love the sorcery speed.
Here's the thing, though. Consider this card in Standard. It basically is resilient to anything but a very strong powered-up Harness Lightning or Vraska's Contempt. Because once it goes to their... Like, if your opponent taps out and you just slam this card on turn 6...
Yeah. Like, Ixalan's Binding and Cast Out are pretty good, though.
Sure, but, like, think about the good decks, right? Temur Energy is playing Glorybringer, not Ixalan's Binding or Cast Out. So, like, they tap out on turn 5 for Glorybringer, you do whatever, and then you slam this on turn 6, you're going to untap with it, and then, yeah, you're going to get hit for a turn, but you get to attack with it in Sphinx's Rev and, draw 4 or 5 cards.
Yeah, DJ, get that weak-ass Dies to Doomblade shit out of here.
Yeah, so... I think that this card could, like, almost by itself, like, spawn a new archetype in Standard, like a blue-white tap-out or Bant tap-out strategy. The thing is, like, if that deck turns out to be good enough, this is, like, a mythic and could be, like, worth a decent amount, but I don't think it'll have many other homes.
Yeah.
And if that deck doesn't pan out, which is definitely also a possibility, then it just really probably won't have a home. But if there's like a tap out,
of, regardless, right?
No, it would probably be 3 of. I mean, it's really good in those tap out type strategies. You might even play 4 of it. I don't know, because like you're probably going to be like looting like with things. So I don't know. Yeah. No, you're probably not playing 4 anyway.
That card that you said sucked.
No, you're definitely not looting with that.
You don't want to say
thing.
Azores Gateway. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey.
Just kidding.
We're not playing that card in this deck.
Well, this is your 6 for Azores Gateway, so you can flip it. And what if you had 20 mana to play with?
I agree. The power level, Sphinx's Revelation, even if it's not in the incept, when it's attached to a 6/6 body, that's still pretty good. It can
feel real miserable if you're trying to kill them with your 2/2 and 3/3 creatures in your energy deck, and they're like, I gained 5 and draw 5 cards.
I mean, interestingly,
game 2, then?
The thing that matches up best against it might be Vraska, which we were talking about earlier. Because you can play this on 6, but then they just tap out for Vraska and kill it, and you're in a rough spot.
Oh yeah, Vraska's
You play
beast mode against this
Daredevil
guy.
and get their
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
I like what Corbin said. I think that because Vraska exists, I do not think this is that good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the question. We'll see if Vraska finds a home, whether it's immediately or in regards to this, right? If this sort of deck is good and then a Vraska deck is good, Vraska will be good against it. But we'll see how all that plays out. I think in the meantime, it's most definitely coming down from $7.
Wait! Don't we have a raid counterspell that you can keep up?
I mean, yes, but
So they
it's not
can't
that good.
try to kill Azores the Lawbringer on your turn. No. Who doesn't want to play a conditional cancel?
Well, it's good. It
Can we
specifically
skip-
counters Settle the Wreckage. That's what it exists for.
Right? Can we skip Rekindling Phoenix, or does anybody like this card?
Rekindling Phoenix.
I like
is
this card after Hazoret rotates.
Really?
Yeah,
okay,
right.
well, I'll read it then. It's a 4-mana Phoenix, 4/3 flyer, mythic 4/3. Yeah, when it dies, create an 0/1 red elemental creature token with, at the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice this and return target card named Rekindling Phoenix from graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste. Okay, I can see why you would think it would fill the Hazoret role after Hazoret rotates. Except it takes a turn off. This card is not Hazoret.
Nope.
I mean, a 4/3 for 4 it's okay when it flies, and
It's
like
okay,
them having to deal with
yeah.
it multiple times seems annoying.
I mean, after rotation,
It seems
when-
annoying, and then I don't know. Maybe it just gets like Vraska's contempted, and then they're like, well, I guess I don't know.
Well, then you traded your 4 for their 4, and that's fine.
It's
But
$7 though. Is it $7?
no, it's clearly not. But the thing is, a lot of the 4s rotate after rotation. So like you lose Chandra as well as Hazoret. And the red decks they're gonna need a 4-drop at that point. Maybe it's Rowdy Crew. I don't know, but maybe it's this.
Maybe it's Rowdy
Jakey's-
Crew.
So I think
Jake, you
that-
see anything for this?
I think this card's awesome. I really like this card a lot.
Okay.
I think that this card could be played in standard alongside Hazoret in like a somewhat like bigger
Ooh.
ready deck.
Okay.
This card could also just be like a card that you play in more of like a mid-rangey type of like Mardu colored deck or a Jund colored deck. I think this could be a very good Jund card if people like start playing cards like Merfolk Branchwalker and like as their 2 and like just like a not energy deck. Like if energy starts not being a thing for some unforeseen reason, then I think that this could be a very good card. I mean, the power level is there. Like this is like a constructed power level card. This card is really good.
All right.
So like the thing is like, will it have a home? I don't know, but it's an extremely powerful card. Yeah.
Is this buy this at $7 good?
The thing is, like, I really don't. Like, I can just tell you how good cards are. I'm
Yeah,
not necessarily the
I-
best with the value stuff of it.
I certainly don't think in our current energy-dominated world that I mean, stacking up against Chandra and Hazoret, both of which have been played in Modern over the past 2 months.
It's not going to see play over Chandra.
right?
It's not going to see play over Chandra like
Yeah.
anytime. But it could see play alongside Chandra, basically. That's what I'm saying.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, the thing about Hazoret is Hazoret doesn't go in every deck, right? It goes in one deck.
Yeah.
Whereas this could theoretically go into Teamer Energy to just grind out.
Yeah, and I don't think it's going
it
to
trades
energy
with-
either. I think this is maybe going in like a red-black Planeswalker deck or like something like that.
Okay, yeah, just something that wants to grind out the long game.
Yeah, like some deck that plays,
All right, well,
bunch
okay.
of stuff.
All right, we are
like,
on to starting the Elder Dinosaur run here. $6.50, Zakama. This is
That sounds like a Mexican root vegetable you would buy at a farmer's market.
Yeah, the 9949. Vigilance, Reach, Trample. When near the battlefield, if you cast it, untap all lands. 2 red, deal 3 damage to target creature. 2 green, destroy artifact or enchantment. 2 white, you gain 3 life. This is a
Is
card
this the
you put in
set's
a Dinosaur
Chromanticore,
Commander
or is
deck.
the other one?
This is bad.
Like, which card's Chromanticore?
Well, I want to put this in
There was
playoff
this one-
tee,
this
Shaq.
This one was
Individual-
definitely drawn like on Bring Your Kid to Work Day.
Give him all the ability. It's like, sorry, Slugger, we ran out of room in the text box. Make the text smaller. He needs black and blue activations too. It's like, sorry.
It even gains
We
life,
can
which is
only-
the ultimate, like little kid. I want this on my card stereotype.
You gain 3 life. Yeah.
That naturalize effect is no joke in Commander.
Yeah, but here's the thing: someone's going to put together a giant dinosaur ramp deck, and they're going to play one of every Elder Dragon, Elder Dinosaur, and then they're going to put them on to play with Gishath, and you're going to die. So I'm just saying,
it's
be aware
your
it's
fault
going to
if you
happen.
let that happen.
It's going to happen.
You're negligent if you let them. Right? Like, you did nothing to stop anything they were doing.
Gishath is reasonable.
This is like a combo card in EDH, though. Like, it's not even just like, yeah, this is a big dumb dinosaur, and I like all of its abilities in that format. But also, someone's just gonna be like, yeah, what if we use this as a non-blue
ramp
great
spell with
whale?
like a Palancron kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's like, why don't you just play blue and do blue stuff? This is non-blue. You don't have anything.
Yeah, whatever.
You don't have Palancron. You don't have Great Whale. You don't have Deadeye Navigator.
So the one thing I
doing?
will say about these is it's $6, just over $6 right now. The Elder Dragons from Dragons of Tarkir are all worth money. I think they're probably more playable than these are, right? And obviously, not Sigarda, but the green-white one sees some modern play and sideboards, constructed play. But it's just worth noting there is a bit of a price floor for these, around probably $3 to $4.
Also, Gishath didn't drop.
Yeah.
Well, because everyone was waiting to see if we got dinosaurs for the Gishath deck, and I guess we kind of did.
We did.
They're, we got 25 5-mana dinosaurs to choose from, so good luck building a deck where everything costs 5 mana.
Yeah, I mean, Gishath is still $4, and these are going to be from a set that isn't opened as much.
Yeah.
For a variety
It
of
doesn't
reasons.
have any other good cards, so hey, you know what? If you want this to play with, just go ahead and pay the $7, because that's probably where it ends up.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, well.
Who knows?
All right, moving on to the next one here. Here's one that might have some constructed, maybe not, but Olinda, the Dusk Rose. It is a 1/1 for 4 mana, black-white vampire, lifelinker. When another creature dies, anyone's creature, put a 1/1 counter on it. When it dies, create X 1/1 white vampire creature tokens with lifelink, where X is Olinda's power. What do we think about this?
Yeah.
Is there anything here?
Yes. This might be the most expensive.
I mean, this seems whatever
I
to me in
can't-
Commander. You'll play it in your vampire deck, but it's probably not.
Yeah, it's not your
it's
commander.
not setting the
it's
world
just
on
your-
fire.
Yeah.
What
I
about?
think-
I mean,
You're gonna say that, and then somebody's gonna put a Blade of the Blood Chief on it and combo you out.
Sure, man. But sure, with a million different cards. Jake, what about standard? I mean, we already talked about 1 4-mana vampire, but is this one any good?
Yes. Yes. This is like a good magic card. This is the type of magic card that makes me want to build a tokens deck. Before we were talking
like
about
an Oketra's Monument deck.
yeah,
Yeah.
in Oketra's Monument type decks. Is there a good way to sacrifice our stuff in standard right now? Sacrifice creatures to do something.
That's a great question. If we start
Hidden
talking to risk.
stockpile.
Yeah, there's some hidden stockpile stuff. There's Bantu himself.
Herself.
But anyway,
I'm just having dreams of sacking vampire tokens to attrition in EDH. That's what I want to be doing.
yeah. You could just it. This is the type of card that really lets you do disgusting things. You could the mid to end game of that this card unlocks for various constructed decks is just absurd. You could play some Abzani type token strategy. You probably play 1 or 2 of the aura that says when something dies you return it to the battlefield, and then you get the land that reanimates things.
True.
Oh, the black-green enchantment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The card is definitely awesome with Oketra's Monument. It is the white token strategy that was already a deck.
Right.
This is a card. I bet that the next the standard Grand Prix that happens after this set comes out will likely feature a deck that plays this card as a 4 of in the top 8.
All right.
Wow.
So what you're saying is Sam Black
That's-
will be showing up with Bantu and Olinda.
Yeah. This
I
is.
mean,
going
if anybody,
I think
it
it's
will
very
be Sam
like this is,
Zombardment Black.
So like this is a card that's significantly less of a slam dunk than the other card like I talked about.
Yeah.
In terms of like being good, but this is a good card, and this card will see standard play, and it's a mythic, right?
It is a mythic.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what we're saying is
$5
this could actually
might not be a bad buy.
It could see,
'cause something's got to be expensive.
under $5. It could have some breakout potential if that happens, right? If that Star City Open, someone has a deck together, has either a Monument deck or an Aristocrats deck or whatever. It's a mythic. It could spike. So
what's this? What's the ceiling on this? The ceiling's 20 and the floor is what, 3?
Yeah, well, the
Yeah.
floor is probably 2, but yeah, exactly. The point is, you can I'm sure by the time this cast comes out, you'll be able to get them at $4. And if you want them, I mean, that's a pretty reasonable price to pay for them. All right. Next up, another mythic here, another $5 mythic. Trapjaw Tyrant. It's a 5/5 white dinosaur, white that is, and 3 for 5. That enrage whenever it's dealt damage, exile target creature an opponent controls until Trapjaw Tyrant leaves the battlefield. I assume this is a limited bomb and otherwise meh. That's my thoughts, but
I love the art.
Every good dinosaur costs 5 mana, and like it's gonna be hard to trigger enrage. I think there's only like 1 or 2 good cards that do it, so it's.
Well, it's like generally most things that trigger enrage will just kill the creature anyways.
Well, you get that one thing that prevents all but 1 damage, Corbin. Nah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what the dinosaur deck would even look like, but I don't think.
I don't think it's playing this card. Yeah, this is a limited bomb though. It's probably why it's a mythic. All right, next one is another.
I really like its ability. I don't know how to enable it.
It's just no. It's
Same thing with this next card.
worse than Admonition Angel, and that card is just it's good, but it's not whatever. Now here's a good combo with everything. Polyraptor, 8 mana, 6 and 2 green. It's a 5/5 creature dinosaur in rage. When it is dealt damage, create a copy of it, a token that's a copy. So this is a sort of a combo with what's the card people were talking about? That
it's a combo with
Forerunner.
Aether Flash if you want the game to just stall out and never end.
The Forerunner, Corbin, where you like play it and then deal
it deals
damage
one.
to every other
You can
creature.
when a dinosaur comes into play, you can have the Forerunner deal damage to other creatures.
Yeah.
So you can get 5 of them in play, or 4 or whatever. Right. That's the.
Yeah, because the
That's the
original one will
idea.
be dead and the tokens will be on the stack. Yeah, so you can get 5 of them. Woo!
Yeah, that's it. That's correct. Well, yeah, I mean, but it also costs
Who
8
named this
mana.
card?
Costs
I
8
want to know
mana.
who named this card.
Polyraptor? Dude, I bet it was Alan Marling.
Polyraptor?
It's a good name.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just sounds weird.
It's a great name.
It's fine.
It's a cool
All
it's a
right,
cool
next-
portmanteau. I like it. I
Next,
don't want to hear it.
next up is our $4.50 Storm the Vault. It's a 4 mana legendary enchantment that's blue and red. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control do combat damage to a player, create a treasure. At the beginning of your end step, if you control 5 or more treasure. I'm sorry,
No, it's if you
Trevor's.
have 5 more
Control.
artifacts.
5 or more artifacts transform Storm the Vault. And the backside says, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Add blue to your mana pool for each artifact you control. So Brea,
Every
right?
single
That's where this
Brea
would go?
deck. I think I'm gonna go all Ryan Bouchard here and predict that there's a Juara character in Dominaria, a blue-red, cares about artifacts, legendary creature. Could be
Yeah,
Juara,
that
could be
right there.
Yep. So, because there's no way they made a card that's just for Brea, and like I guess
So this card
Well, it's more like
is
sure
either
artifact-
extremely good or completely unplayable.
Right,
well,
that's
I
what I
think,
probably
I think
goes in
people
the
learned
second
the
bucket.
lesson.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is,
yeah,
I mean, like
People learned
the
their lesson with the thing that's
like we got that Cradle that was a
Standard.
better card than this card, and that
Uh-huh.
card's not good. So
exactly growing
the
right
Cradle
to
was a
the
better card on the front, and it still
Yeah, if
wasn't
this
a
made
Cradle.
a treasure for each creature that hit them, then I think
Maybe,
that'd be a different story. But
Yeah, this
But
card's
this is-
bad.
but-
that's my
But
opinion.
it flips based on all your artifacts, not just the treasures created.
Yeah,
by the
you
thing,
you
so
can
it's
you
easier
play
to
you play
flip.
it in your Brea deck, but like it's not going to do it. In my opinion, won't do anything in standard.
No.
Oh,
It's
I don't
just
wanna
they
pay
looked at all the
$5 for
iconic
this.
lands and they made something that sort of fit it, right? And that's fine. But it's you probably just play it in some number of artifact decks. But I'm pretty sure it's just like blue red, right? It's basically Brea.
No, there's like
Yeah.
one deck for this in EDH, so like I don't even.
It'll be a couple bucks at most. All right, next up, Wayward Swordtooth. This is an interesting one. So it is a 5/5 for 3 mana, and it has Ascend, and you can play an additional land on each of your turns. However, it cannot attack or block unless you have the City's Blessing. So, yes, it helps you ramp, sort of, right? It helps you speed up the cards in your hand getting into play, which allows you to ramp. It can get you to the City's Blessing, and the payoff is that you have a 3 mana 5/5. I don't know. This is kind of a cool card, but it's definitely a neat design. I'm not sure where the power level falls for standard. I'm sure you know, for Commander, it's just another Oracle Moldiah effect and one that's cheaper, so I'm sure it'll see play in some decks. But
Well, yeah, you're not attacking or blocking with Oracle Moldiah, but this is an Oracle.
Sure,
Oracle
right?
was
It's
like,
not Oracle.
you
It's
can-
Corsair of Crufix or something, right? It's just an
Yeah, something
additional
like
land.
that. Sure.
There's a bunch of different cards that do it.
Yeah, and you're gonna get that in those decks where you're doing that. You're gonna be able to turn it on pretty easily. You're gonna ascend real quick.
I'm more
Does this
interested
go
in
in
standard.
the? Does this go in like the Jund-esque deck that we were talking about with the other Black Vampire Mythic?
I don't know. It does not excite me. It could be good.
Okay, huh?
I'm not like,
That's about all we've got on it, and that's how I feel too.
yeah.
But it's almost certainly not going to just light the world on fire and be $4, right? I think it's probably going to be a couple bucks. Seems very niche.
As a non-mythic, who knows? This set's goofy. I kind of feel like some of this stuff can just hold just because.
No.
Like the
I mean,
EV
this
on
thing.
this set seems like it's sub $60.
I mean, I could not imagine myself spending that much money for this card.
Yeah.
That's fair. It's a
All right.
non-mythic.
Next up is one that I think is very good and possibly underpriced. It's under $4. Jade Light Ranger, 1 green 2/1 double explore, which means your options are you either get a 4/3 for 3 mana that also scries 2, or you get a 2/1 draw 2 cards, or you get a 3/2 draw 1 scry 1.
When this comes into play, you get a 6-month DCI ban though, so that sucks.
Because you explored
This card's
2 explorers,
awesome.
I get it.
Yeah, this
Took me a
card's
minute.
great.
Yeah, this card is insane.
Yeah. I get a lot.
I'm going to be playing a lot of Merfolk and Standard to try to make it work. I don't know if it will work or not, but I do know that this card is very, very good.
Yeah, I don't think this card necessarily even needs to be a Merfolk. Like, this is a card that would go in that sweet Jund deck we were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, this is
There's
like a
a lot
rogue.
of
This card is a rogue refiner for decks that are not energy decks, right?
Exactly.
Like,
That's exactly what I was thinking. And in some cases, it might be. I mean, you trade in the possibility of an extra card or an extra stat in exchange for the energy, right? And this can go into any deck.
Well, you don't get to choose, but it's still whatever happens is upside, right?
yeah, I mean, you get to
Exactly. But
choose
it's
in the sense
also-
of the scrying of it, you know.
Yeah.
And you can also
exactly.
put things
And
into
it's
your
also a
graveyard
Merfolk,
that give you
and
advantages
that's-
there.
It's a Merfolk, which means that if Merfolk is a deck, there's almost certainly a 4 of in it. The issue with the Merfolk deck is it has a million 3-drops, but I can't imagine not playing this one.
I mean, it has a million
Yeah.
3-drops, but this is like the only one you want to play, right?
I think you probably play Vine Shaper Mystic.
Yeah, maybe you play some.
There's also the
Probably
Flash
play
Hexproof
Mystic.
one we'll get to.
I don't think that legend is great if you're trying to Merfolk people, but
No, I don't think the
not
Legend's
standard,
great. The
certainly.
Legend's fine, but it's like your fun one of. It's not
yeah, it's a fun
the
one. Off.
centerpiece
Like,
of the
you
deck.
might
I
play
think
2 of it even, but like it's not.
Yeah.
It
What
definitely
the-
does not command
what-
the price that it has right now, right? That's
Yeah. What the Merfolk
podcast
deck is about is just the value, right? Between Silvergill and Merfolk Branchwalker, the 2-drop spot, those are like modern playable cards alongside each other. It's a lot of value at the 2-drop spot. You get a lot of value at the 3-drop spot out of Jade Light Ranger.
You got a 1-drop, right?
You have Kumena Speaker
That's a
as well.
2/2
It's
if you have a
2/2 for
Merfolk
one.
and an island or something.
Or an island.
Merfolk
Either
or an
one.
island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like
And
you
then
can
there's
just
the
go.
other. Corbin, do you play the other 1-drop in this set where it's like when you play a Merfolk, it gets a counter or something like that?
We'll see when we get to the card. I don't know.
That card costs 2 mana. That card costs 2 mana.
And
yeah, that's what
isn't there another 1-drop green Merfolk in this set at rare?
Costs 2 mana.
I don't know.
Costs
Guess
2
we'll
mana.
find out when we get
Costs
there.
2
but-
mana.
Rivals?
Costs 2 mana.
Thought so.
We liked
it costs 2
this
mana.
next card. Last week when we talked about this next card, we all sort of kind of liked it.
Yeah. All right. So, anyways,
But
I
just
think
'cause it
Jadelight
was
Ranger
like-
though is one to keep an eye on. I'm not at all opposed to paying somewhere between $3 and $4 for this card because it is a lot of value tacked onto a body. And Merfolk is going to be popular. There's enough cards that people are going to try it. And whether it's now, whether it's post Dominaria when we could get more Merfolk, and energy hate cards, or after rotation when energy's just gone. If energy somehow just persists all the way to rotation and is the best deck, the floodgates are gonna be open at that point. And Merfolk's going to have a lot of pieces there together. And
We're trying
the Merfolk deck
so hard to move on, and you just won't let us.
Yeah, all right. Anyways, all right, Journey to Eternity, $3.
We talked about this last week. We all sort of liked it. I don't know how I feel at $3.74 though.
I mean, I think it's
Pass.
probably pretty solid at that price. And we can see it being a $2 to $3 card, but see it being a $4 to $5 card, right? It seems like a reasonable price for the card.
I like it.
I don't see it going higher
like cards
than
that do
like a
similar
$3,
things.
$4 range, but it's a card that could see
Unless,
some play.
the only way it could is if it hit. It's going to have a lot of built-in commander play. The question is if some sort of value standard deck picks up with it.
If it just sees play in EDH, then it's probably fine its current price.
It's probably like $2 if it just sees play in EDH, but it could see some standard play, I guess. All right, next, Elder Dragon, Itali. I assume it's Itali. Primal Storm, 6 mana.
Jason, are you drinking every time Corbin calls these dragons?
Oh God, you're right.
I ran out of alcohol because we've been podcasting for so long. And
Well, the hard
sitting
part is
here.
they all look like they fly. It's a bunch of just like really epic pictures. I
And
don't
one
know,
of them
whatever.
has reach, right? And it's like it's got so much text you're gonna forget it has reach.
It doesn't have reach.
One of them has reach. I forget.
This
which
is
one.
the red one. When it attacks, exile the top card of each player's library. You can cast any non-land cards exiled without paying their mana cost. So, one interesting note I have heard about this is I've had some people telling me that this automatically slots into Sneak and Show as a 1 of, maybe a 2 of in Legacy. You can brainstorm Emrakul or Gristlebrand to the top of your deck, play Itali, attack, immediately get to cast that card for free, and now you have an Emrakul or Gristlebrand that is not going away at the end of the turn.
Yeah.
If you cast
Which,
the
you know,
Emrakul, you actually get the extra turn. So
Right. Yeah. If you get the extra turn, it gets to attack. So, this could be a 1 or 2 of in Sneak and Show and Legacy, which, basically would drive the price of the foils.
The foils, yeah. The Japanese foils would be good.
you don't think this is more than a 1 or a 2 of in those decks?
Arbitrage them.
I don't know. That's just I don't know anything about Legacy. That's what I'm going off of having been told last weekend. Do you think it's more?
Potentially. Like it's just like kind of insane. Like if you, I guess the thing is that they can like swords it or whatever, and
Sure.
like the Dyed Doomblade argument is actually a real argument in like Legacy because, but as far as like things that you're just like dropping into play go, I can't imagine something like this. This wins the game. Like if they don't have a removal spell, this wins the game for you by like sneaking it or through the breaching it into play more than Emrakul or like Grizzlebrand does.
Yeah.
Because you put the Eldrazi on the top of your deck,
Kinda,
you take an
yeah.
extra turn, and then you attack with it.
This
mean,
card
it's-
seems underpriced. This is like the first card that we've run across that seems super underpriced to me, but I don't.
You
I
like
don't
it
know
at
why.
4?
4 might be.
I
That's
don't
like
know
a
why.
rare.
Oh, it's just a rare. Yeah, this card's it's probably not worth that.
It's not a mythic.
It's gonna be
But,
like
like,
it's
what
only
in
gonna
the
see play in
set-
Legacy, and it's like a newer card that's a rare, so it's like probably not.
Like Sire of Insanity is also like a card.
I gotta get
that-
you to acknowledge that a 100 card format exists. You're like, only sees playing legs. I don't know. Everything in the set seems like it's the right price. This seems like it's too cheap to me, and I don't.
That's
That's
possible. I
not
think it's
backed up
probably-
by data. That's just a gut feeling.
I think it's probably the right price myself because I don't think the 6-drop Dino commander play
Maybe I'm just looking at it assuming it's mythic, because look at the thing.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's not, but it's not. But that's whatever. Wizards has made a conscious effort, it seems like, to not just put busted cards in Mythic recently.
But why? Because like you're gonna play against this in Limited so much more often, and this is just miserable in Limited. You're just gonna be like, cool rare, dude.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to beat in Limited, that's for sure. All right.
How do you beat a 6/6 for 6? Like I Limited, it's annoying to have to deal with a crawl worm, and this thing's like, I'm casting everything from everyone's library.
Well, I mean, Colossal Dreadmaw already existed. 6/6.
Yeah, I was gonna say you get a 6/6 for 6 at common in the set, so.
I know.
The ability's pretty rough, given that combat is generally your best way to remove it, though, and this gets infinite value once it tangles in combat. But all right,
but I next snapped it, so
yeah. All right, next up, $3. Hadana's Climb, Legendary Enchantment. At the beginning of your turn, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Then if that creature has 3 counters on it, 3+1 counters on it, transform it. Transform. Tap to add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. 1 green-blue tap. Target creature gets flying in XX till the turn where X is its power. This feels like basically bulk.
This card's garbage.
yeah, it's
$1.
It's when you want your flip card to turn into Gaia's Cradle or Tellurian Academy. You don't want your flip card turning into Kasich Wolf Run.
Yeah. All right. Another Elder Dinosaur. Galta Primal Hunger, 12 mana, 12/12, but costs X less to cast or X is total power creatures you control, and it has Trample. So, sure, big dumb dino.
We were talking about this, about how there are 2 different... No, there's actually 3 different cards that like either give you mana or reduce the cost of dinosaurs, and they have power. So, like,
This
you
feels
can get
very
this out
Winmore.
pretty early, and then it dies to Vraskic's Contempt, I guess.
Yeah, this feels very Winmore.
It seems not insane to me, but it's
don't
pretty
like
good
any of the
follow-up to like a
dinosaurs.
Regisaur Alpha.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is like if Dinosaurs is good, then this is good because it just kills people with the, like if you
Yeah.
untap with Alpha, you just win with it. I understand that it's like
Yeah.
it is the worst thing in the universe when you're losing a game, and maybe that means it's not good enough. But in the quadrants of like when the game is close or when you're winning the game, it's like a like 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. So
Yeah, I agree. So, I mean, I wouldn't write it off. I don't think that the Dinosaur deck's going to be there immediately. We'll see. But it certainly does feel like a untap with Regisaur Alpha. You always have to be aware if they have Galta, you're
turn
just
5
dead.
Regisaur, turn 6 this, then? Because the Regisaur is, what, a 3/3, and it makes a 3/3?
The Regisaur Alpha is a 4/4, and it makes a 3/3.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it gives your dinosaurs haste, of course. So you just...
Yeah, so it gives this
you
haste.
just- and imagine it's more likely, right, if you go Drover of the Mighty on turn 2? Whatever, turn 3, right? But whatever, you play Regisaur Alpha on turn 4, you play this on turn 5. I mean, most people aren't going to... It's hard to kill Drover. I mean, people will want to, but if they don't kill your Drover and they don't kill your Regisaur Alpha, I mean, Regisaur Alpha and Drover itself, that's 7 power. That makes this cost 5, and Drover can tap for mana. So, yeah, this things can...
well,
that's not
a
an overwhelming
Drover
board
and
state, right?
a Drover and a
Regisaur.
Regisaur Alpha make this cost 2, right?
If you
that would
the
be
3/3 that
7
Regisaur
power.
makes, yeah.
That's 7 power in play.
Well, it's 10
10.
power in play because the Drover gets +2/+2.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I wasn't thinking about the token, right? I'm
You
assuming
get a
that-
3/3, a 3/3, and a
Something's-
4/4.
You get a 3/3 token.
Yeah, if you have the
This-
token, then yes, it's just essentially free.
But say
Yeah.
that's a deck. Is this a $3 card?
Probably.
No,
Or
I mean
this
this
a
is
$2, $3 card.
That's a deck?
no. I think this is. I
Yeah.
think this card stays as low as it is, or goes lower, even if that is a deck, and even if this, because this is like a card they're giving away to like everybody for a promo, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Like you go to the pre-release, you get
it's
one of
a
these.
promo. There's too many promos for me to remember.
Yeah.
Which is which? I don't know if it's the open house promo or the draft weekend promo or whatever. But yeah, it's a promo.
It's a
We say that
promo,
so
and
much
it's
on
just
this
a rare.
podcast.
Yeah.
Like, I love this card. Bulk. It stays
Well-
where it is. This isn't bulk, but I don't think you want to buy it $3.
Well, I think if you want to play this card and you aren't going to have the promos or whatever, sure, just pay
Just
$10
throw
for
$3
them,
at it?
right?
Yeah.
Get them at $250 and buy them. Sure, it's worth keeping in mind. Ripjaw Raptor, which also sees no play because that's Dinosaurs isn't a deck, is still like $3 or $4.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind. All right, so next one up, Direfleet Poisoner. 2/2, 2 mana, flash death touch. When it enters the battlefield, target attacking pirate you control gets +1 in death touch until its turn. This feels like Glint Sleeve Siphoner level price to me, like $1 to $2 if it's good, but not $3.
I think it's, I don't know.
I mean, it's worse
Pirates
than
are deck.
Siphoner.
It could be sweet. It's like, you know, it's kind of a removal spell because it's like a flat death touch creature.
Yeah, it's good on
know.
both your turn and their turn.
Yeah.
On the situation.
Like good if you're losing,
it's fine, but
it's like
I don't see this holding the value.
it's like good if you're losing, and it's really good if you're like at parity because if your opponent tries to like trade, you just blow them out with it. That's a fine card.
As a combat trick, even with the +1.
Yeah.
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 But
What
it's
do you
still
think
good
that there's
late
any-
because even if like the trade's really bad, you're swinging a 2/2 into a 5/5. It still gives it the death touch.
Do you think there's upside to it, Jake?
Well, yeah, it's like cool
At
because like
$3?
let's say like your opponent has like like a huge creature in play and you attack them with like all your terrible pirates. They're like, oh, well, I can't block because of poisoner, so they like don't block because they don't want to just like lose their guy to your poisoner.
Yeah.
Then on their turn, that means they can't attack you back if you leave open that 2 mana because
For what
you can
it's
just
worth,
flash
we
it in
also-
and like block their guy, right?
Yeah, I guess we also talked up the pirate earlier, the 2-drop that has first strike, and that in poison.
Oh, yeah.
That's a first strike death touch combo.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I think
That's
this
fair.
card. I think this card's pretty good. Yeah.
Black Red
I
Pirates
don't know
could be
if it
a
goes,
thing.
but I wrote down 3 cards. I wrote down Direfleet Poisoner, the Direfleet Daredevil, and Tomb Robber as cards that I think are like, I don't know.
It's
cards
just
that
hard
I would
for
want
me-
to play in standard.
It's just hard for me to look
Tomb
at
Robber's
Glint
weird.
Siphoner. Although I guess that's a set with
Yeah.
with masterpieces, I guess. But I mean that card's worth like $2 at most, and it's all over the place.
But that was a card that went up from $1 to $5 on the weekend, and then went back down to 2 slowly. So
Yeah.
that's something to think about.
But
too.
that it's also worth noting that set has masterpieces. This one does not. So
this card doesn't.
Again, it
this
seems
set
like
doesn't have any cards that anybody really wants. So like
Yeah.
something has to be worth money, right?
Yeah.
And if it's every card goes up by $2 that's playable, that's one thing. So
yeah,
something
All right.
has to happen, and I haven't seen a Voice of Resurgence in this set.
Yeah. All right. Next up, Path of Metal, red white enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, deals 1 damage to each creature that does not have first strike, double strike, vigilance, or haste. Whenever you attack with at least 2 creatures that have those abilities, transform it. It can then tap down 1 mana of any color, or 1 red and tap, deal 2 damage to each opponent, 2 white and tap. Choose a creature at random that attacks its turn, destroy that creature. It's a weird card, but
Yeah, that's gross.
Why does Boros always get shafted?
yeah, this
What do you
card's
mean?
just
This?
so-
I think this card has potential to be like really good.
It's just
But
so
how
I'm
weird.
do
just thinking about
playing it?
EDH. And,
Or do you care?
It's just
my
so
context
weird.
is EDH.
Yeah, no. I mean, this card's
All right.
like good.
So in what
Like,
way do
your
you think it's
opponent-
good though?
Why do I think it's good? Is because like it's the easiest thing to flip in the universe. All you have to do is attack with 2 guys. You just play creatures that have keywords, and then when it flips, your opponent can't attack you because you just kill their guy for free without using a card. And if they don't attack you, you just shoot them for 2 on their end step, and then they lose the game eventually. Like it seems like so hard to lose a game once you flip this, and it seems so easy to flip this.
Well, the only issue I see is that the keep up 4 lands on defense to destroy one of their creatures is good in my Jeskai control deck. It's not necessary. It's a lot harder in my deck than
No, dude, because like all your creatures, if you're playing a red,
You're
white,
thinking
like,
about
low
this-
mana curve. Type
No, but
shit,
this
you
isn't-
got all this extra mana.
This isn't some
'Cause your
like
creatures are cheap.
yeah, exactly. Like it's not like I'm like leaving open the mana. It's like I've used all my shit already. You're like I
Okay.
got nothing left to do. Like I'm all out of gas. Now you can just never attack me because I'll pay 3 mana and kill your guy. And when you never attack me after I've played my deck where everything was like cheap and killing you, then like on your end step I'm dealing you 2 a turn and you're already at like 6 because of the way my deck is built. Right? Like I don't know. Like
Yeah, I mean,
and the
that's
thing is
pretty
like
reasonable.
we need enough like cheap guys that like aren't just straight up dying to this thing, right?
right.
Kari Zev gets through this pretty easily too.
You know what has first strike?
Because doesn't Kari Zev like have first strike and menace?
Yes.
Yeah.
Kari Zev has first strike. The Dire Fleet guy has first strike. I mean, you can
Has first strike, yeah.
build those things, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, I think this card is like this
it
card
doesn't kill
seems...
Bowmat Courier either.
Yeah, this card is...
Oh, yeah, because it has...
Hey, can Ramanap Red become some sort of red-white deck?
It doesn't kill the Rigging Runner either.
Yeah,
this gives you that. Yeah, this would give you a lot of reach if you just have this and Ramanap in play. I don't know, man.
Well, I was trying to mentally brew the pirate deck. You got the 1-drop, you got Karizev, you got the Daredevil, but I don't know if I wanted to go.
No, you're
white with
you're
it.
red-black. Your pirate deck is red-black. Maybe
Yeah,
red,
of course.
Blue. Depends if you
Probably
want
red,
Hostage Shaker.
At your top end of your curve, so.
Yeah.
So
All
what's
right.
the red-white deck look like? You got some like weird dinosaurs, like that 2-mana 3/3 or something like that. I don't even know what your red-white deck would look like.
Yeah. All right. So it's 250 right now. I don't think it's spiking
if it gets
above
played,
that.
it's in one deck, so I don't think it
if
goes
it gets
much
played, it's in like a glint sleeve siphoner type of price trajectory.
I can't see this hitting $10 and us looking like idiots for not saying to buy it at
maybe,
250.
but it's we also have to keep in mind there's no Pro Tour to push these prices. And that
Yeah.
matters a lot.
I don't think this card is gonna like increase in value. I'm just saying that like it's not like this card is some like terrible card. Like if my opponent flips this card in a red-white deck, I can never
That's
imagine
scary,
beating
yeah.
them in a million years. So that's all I'm saying.
All right, here we go.
like that's exactly why we wanted you on this podcast to tell us stuff like that.
All right, $2.50. Deep Root Elite, 1/1 for 2. Whenever a Merfolk enters battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on target Merfolk you control. This card is a slap in the face, given that Thalia's Lieutenant exists.
Yeah, this is like a really bad lieutenant.
Yeah,
huh?
this didn't have to.
It's
This
just
is like
it's
a
literally
lieutenant.
just an insult.
That
I'm elite,
this
guys.
is like the worst lieutenant ever.
Like, it's just it's a marginally better Thalia's Lieutenant on one side. The alternative is you don't get the other side at all. Like this card is just offensive. If
And
this
it's not
card,
like humans are lacking for creatures either.
if this was Kumina's Lieutenant and it did exactly what Thalia's Lieutenant did, I'd be excited.
Well,
As
yeah,
it
that might
stands,
be
I'm
would be
offended.
like one of the best Merfolk ever printed.
It would be better than the 2-drop Lord they did give us in this set, that's for sure.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
hey, they printed Thalia's Lieutenant. Humans have a bunch
Why
of
can't we
lords,
have
too. Come
Merfolk
on.
of the Parish? Why can't we have that?
Yeah, I mean this is basically just a Champion of the Parish where they made it cost twice as much mana.
Yeah, it's just a joke. All right, whatever. Bull crap. Moving on, Vona's Hunger, Ascend. Now, see, Jason, these instants and sorceries, these do have...
That was the
obviously-
first. Yeah, that was what screwed me up because this was the first Ascend card I saw.
Exactly, yeah. That's it's a little weird that they put the ability on... It works differently on different cards. but
Permanence, yeah.
Regardless, each opponent sacrifices a creature. If you have the city's blessing, they sacrifice half the creatures they control rounded up. Well, this is probably pretty bad, right?
I don't want to be paying 3 mana for an edict when everyone's running tokens.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nor
I
do
mean,
I
I'm
want
not-
them to
I'm not thrilled with
get
it.
rid of... Yeah, you're
It
what?
seems mediocre.
I'm not
Okay.
I'm not the happiest with it.
Yeah. All right,
I don't
next
I
up,
want to play it.
the Mastermind's Acquisition.
See,
4
this is
mana,
the part.
choose
This
one.
is the part where we spend 45 minutes talking about a bunch
if you
of
ta- not if you
dual
stop
deck
talking.
Planeswalkers, and then we get to the $1 cards and we blow through them. And we miss shit like Tireless Tracker. So let's not blow through this stuff. There could be some. If there's anything in the set that's going to go up,
It's Mastermind's acquisition.
it's going to be in the next 20 cards. So let's
Yeah,
pay
Mastermind's
attention.
acquisition.
Alright.
Mastermind's acquisition is a card that I'm sure people are gonna love for every casual format ever, right?
Yep.
And then
Yep.
it's a card that could actually see some constructed play, because
You think
people are playing.
Wow.
yeah,
People are playing a tutor that does half of this, costs the same amount of mana.
I mean, kind of. When's the last time I actually saw somebody play
play this
Diabolic
instead.
Tutor, man?
People play it.
Card's not even a pick
Look
anymore.
at EDH Rec.
Yeah, it is.
It's barely a pick. Like some
Yeah,
versions
it's been
of it.
printed 45
Some
times.
versions of it are a
See how
pick,
many
and
decks
some
it's
are
in.
not. Anyway, so it's a 4-mana Diabolic Edict, or choose a card you own from outside the game, put it in your hand. Now that can't be pretty good.
Diabolic Tutor.
So-
Dude, it's in 31,000 decks on EDH Rec. Now, whether that's correct or not, I'm sure Dana Roach will do an article series about how there are better tutors in this. But look, man, it's in 31,000 EDH decks, and this is a strictly better copy of it. So maybe you pay the $2. Who knows?
Whatever.
agree.
I don't think it
don't
goes
think
up
it's
from 2.
spiking.
I think two's fine.
Yeah, it's card
All
sweet.
right. Now here's
Could be
one
worse.
I do like. Up next, it's just around $2. Profane Procession. It's just a 3-mana enchantment, and for 5 mana, you can exile target creature. Then, if there are 3 more cards exiled with it, transform it. Add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. 2 white, black, tap. Put a creature card exiled with this permanent onto the battlefield under your control. I'm just excited. This seems like a fun commander card for a bunch of control decks.
This is like the card I'm most angry about playing against in Sealed deck of all time. Like,
yes.
Oh yeah.
This card is going to be obnoxious and sealed.
Yeah.
And it's a rare.
But yeah,
too.
I
It
don't
could have
think
easily
it's
been mythic.
Like it might see some play in standard, but not as more than like a 1 or 2 of it. It's not mythic.
It's 2 mana intensive. I think, but like on sealed, it's just like
dumb and
play one
sealed,
instead.
great in commander.
yeah, commander too.
It's definitely going in my probably. There's several cards from the set I actually want to play in my
Oloro
deck.
Yeah.
All right, but again, I think foils are where you look. We don't have a price yet for foils. All right, next up is Slaughter the Strong. $2 sorcery. Each player chooses any number of creatures they control with total power 4 or less, then sacrifices all other creatures. So you choose any number of creatures you control with total power 4 or less, and sacrifice all other creatures. So this is 3 mana. This is kind of like a cheap Wrath, right?
So was Bontu's Last Reckoning, and that one stayed at $2.
Well,
this card is just terrible. This is not a card we should even talk about.
Yeah,
Really?
This card is
trash.
just garbage. Yeah.
okay.
Sorry.
You don't think it's like a pretty easy 2-for-1, 3-for-1 at times? That can also leave you mana open to remove whatever creature they keep?
So it's like a super niche sideboard card that you're bringing in against like 1% of your opponents.
Okay.
And against them, it's like...
I will trust you on this.
All
It
right.
reminded me a little bit of whatever the Wrath was that was all the Bant Company mirrors were all about.
The Tragic Arrogance.
Yes. And that it's
It's nothing
it's
like
a
Tragic
weird traditional
Arrogance.
Wrath, but can leave you in a good spot.
No, Tragic Arrogance
isn't Tragic Arrogance.
Tragic Arrogance is like a freaking cataclysm. This is like dramatically different.
This is like Wrath of Todd.
Okay, sorry.
It's like, yeah, I wish I could kill your creatures, but I can't. I'm just gonna name Todd.
All right. Next up, this card's cool. Tetzimok, Primal Death, and Elder Dinosaur.
Card's sweet.
Death Touch.
You almost said
I
Elder
like it.
Dragon. I had to take another drink.
I think that card is
I was
that
setting
card's.
it up.
I'm bullish on this one. I'm bullish on him.
Yeah, I think this card's cool. It's a 6/6.
It's cool.
6/6 Death Touch for 6 because they always put Death Touch on the 6/6s.
On big old creatures are bigger than anything.
Yeah.
But in this case, it's very flavorful. Black, reveal it from your hand. Put a prey counter on target creature. Activate only during your turn. When it enters the battlefield, destroy each creature your opponents control with a prey counter on them. So you can just like do whatever, but there's no limit to it, right? So you can do this multiple times on turn 5, and then set it up to play it on turn 6 and just blow out like 3 of their creatures.
Yeah, this is dumb. It's dumb. Well, can you imagine if they gave this a keyword fear? Like, black doesn't have a lot of keywords to choose from.
Menace,
Yeah, they
maybe?
got rid of Intimidate as well.
yeah, your 6/6 can't be blocked. Whatever. Yeah.
Jake, so you think this card is going to really make a dent in standard?
I could see this card making a dent standard. Like this card's just like kind of a sweet card. I mean, not like a dent, but like I just feel like this card in like casual stuff too. Like this card's really sweet. It's also just like it creates like fun situations, right? Like again, like I don't think this is necessarily going to be like a standard staple, but it's only $2, and like when people are playing EDH, they like love like revealing things from their hand that like this is coming,
Yeah.
I don't know.
And the thing is, I think this could, slot into some sort of, it's a lot of black mana for a 4-color energy deck, but I don't know if Sultai Energy could play it or something. Oh, they don't have Warlord. The idea is if you can sort of hunt a bunch of their creatures and then just chump with like a couple Thopter tokens or whatever, then you just set up a really big blowout. But it's a lot of black mana for that, so I'm not sure. But it is a high power level.
So I think in like a blue-black control
put one
deck,
prey token on their Glorybringer or whatever, it's worth it, right? Like
what I was saying is I think it might be good in like a blue-black control deck where, like you're like, okay, next turn's my turn where I'm going to Wrath them. I'll just tap all this mana. I'll put prey counters on other guys. Okay, this is my 6 mana Wrath. It's also a 6/6. It's also a win condition.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. Next up,
if
Angrath's
you set
Fury.
it up far enough and
Skip it, bulk rare.
Well, yeah, because it's in the Planeswalker deck.
Skip
All right.
it, Bulker.
Next up,
That's not
Tinder
even
Shoot
in the set.
Dryad.
This is like the only card in the set that I give a crap about.
It's quite good.
5 mana Dryad. 2/2. At the beginning of each upkeep, create a 1/1 green Sapperling token. It has Ascend. Sapperlings get +2/+2 if you have the City's Blessing. This is
In a 4-player game, like by the time you go around the table, you have City's Blessing.
Yeah. Also, this is
Like you play this, you pass a turn. By the time it's your turn again, you have City's Blessing.
I don't think this is unreasonable in Standard in some decks. You know, I don't know if that deck exists yet or if it might, but it's a lot of value, right? Like every one of your turns, I get to block your Bristling Hydra.
Yeah, it's every
And
upkeep. So
then
like,
I get
even in
one
a
on my
2-player
upkeep.
game, you're getting upkeep triggers on
Yeah.
both players.
This
Yes,
card
and-
seems awesome.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
It feels like you take over a game. It's very slow, of course. in
Jamie
Standard, and it's a
Wakefield would be
2/2.
proud.
Gets shocked, but
Yeah, but
Are
card
there
seems
other relevant
kinda
Sapperlings?
cool.
There are a
no
ton of
other
relevant
relevant.
Sapperlings. Like a lot of good. Are you talking standard?
I'm talking standard.
no.
I'm
no.
I
bullish
mean, it's
on
obviously
this
good
guy.
in EDH, but like I'm just curious if there's any incidental buffs this card could provide.
No.
It stacks too. If you have like 2 of these, this gets out of hand real fast.
You have a
All
bunch
right,
of
next
5.
up
You
is-
get 2 5/5 Sapperlings every upkeep.
Yeah.
I don't hate picking this up under $2. It's $1.50 right now, shipped. Like, get them, whatever. You know, this card could have some upside.
Gun to my head, if I had to pick one card in this set that I had to buy, it's this one.
I'm buying 50 copies right now.
All right, next up, Zitalpa, Primal Dawn. There's your keyword soup. 8 mana, 4/8, flying double strike, village trample, indestructible. $2 feels like both.
Guys,
to me.
this is really
I love
good
the-
in Doran EDH deck for attack for 16.
I love the
got
one
him.
dude who plays like the shadows over Innistrad. What's his name? Audric, who's like super excited about this card.
Yeah, right.
Well, hey.
All right. Next up, Admiral's Order. Here's your counterspell. It's a 3 mana counterspell, but if you have raid, it's 1 mana. So this is very relevant in the sense that I don't think it's going to be worth much. I think it's going to be like $1. But this counters the heck out of Settle the Wreckage. And that's what it is going to be used to do.
You attack with Azor, and then you leave a blue man up. You like, I will Sphinx's Rev for 4 cards instead of 5, and they're like, oh, he's got it. And then they kill it on their main phase, and you're like, oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Well, I
But
mean,
no,
wouldn't they have
what
just killed
happens-
it before combat if they were worried about that?
Yeah, exactly.
Would they? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what they're up to.
That's true.
What
All right,
actually
yeah, I mean,
is going to
that
happen
card's
is
just
you're
a
gonna,
They
cancel.
wait for you to
It's fine.
tap out to
Whatever.
Sphinx's Rev.
you play
they
one
wait for
drop,
you to
2
tap
drop.
Weird incidental upside. That's fine.
Yeah. You play a 1 drop, a 2 drop, a 3 drop, then you attack on turn 4, and you pay 1 mana to counter their Settle the Wreckage. That's what this card exists for.
Yeah, I mean that's.
But
that's
I mean,
sweet,
yeah,
man.
that's
if
probably
you
not
want to be
going
playing
anywhere.
in 3-color pie, or
Yeah, it's really good in those
Do
decks
it.
you build for your opponent to have Settle the Wreckage. Like when you build your deck that
next up.
as a deck where your opponent's deck has Settle the Wreckage in it
Yep.
I
automatically.
mean, this is strictly better than cancel. So all the decks that have cancel, you should take that out and put this in. Also,
Yeah.
don't play cancel, idiot.
Yeah, I agree.
So there you go.
Got him.
Not a very good card.
All right, next up, Seachorn Ceratops. $1.50, 2/2 for 2. Hey, here's your Voice of Resurgence. It's a 2/2 for green-white.
There you go.
Oh.
Yeah,
Maybe-
this card's
maybe
not Voice of
it's-
Resurgence.
It's really hard not to kill this.
When it's dealt damage, put 2/1/1 counters on it. It must survive the damage to get the counters.
Yo, I think it's really
whatever.
cool though
Makes
that
me
they made
stronger.
Grizzly
How about a Harvest
Bears.
Lightning for 2?
I'm really happy that Grizzly Bear is a rare though. I think
Yeah.
a multicolored Grizzly Bear being a rare is like a good thing for Magic. I'm impressed.
100%.
Hey,
Yeah, yeah.
This is a better Fungusaur, okay? This isn't a worse Grizzly Bear. It's a better Fungusaur.
Yo, this card
so show
combos
some
with
respect.
the red-white legendary
does.
enchantment.
It does. It makes
Yeah,
it
it doesn't have
4/4.
first strikes.
Yeah, it's a combo where you spend 2 cards and 4 mana to make a 4/4.
Yeah,
Long
that's-
Tusk Cub would be proud.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, next up. This is probably irrelevant. The only possible way it's relevant is like when Pearl Lake Ancient was relevant for 1 Pro Tour.
Yeah, but that was mythic.
Right, exactly.
And there
$1.50.
was a Pro Tour.
Nezahal Primal Tide. 7/7 for 7 can't be countered. You have no maximum hand size. When an opponent casts a non-creature spell, draw a card, discard 3 cards, exile it, and then return it tapped under its owner's control at the beginning of the end step. So
Is this one a dragon, Corbin?
it is not. It is garbage. That's what it is.
How do you pronounce his name?
Nezahal.
Nazahal.
You can call me a
Nezahal?
Nezaholic, 'cause
Nezahal?
I'm gonna...
Wow.
Yeah, so
moving
my
on.
take on this card is I feel like every set of Magic has at least one unplayable giant fish monster that's rare
yeah.
in blue, and this is this set's rare giant fish monster that's unplayable.
Yeah. At least
It's
this
better
one says
than
you have no maximum
Vizardrix,
hand
guys.
size. That's fun.
Oh, I like
Reliquary
that.
Tower's
Yeah.
$3. This is gonna double up overnight.
Boom, got there.
All right, 3 mana, release to the wind, blue card. Instant, exile target only and permanent. For as long as that card remains exiled, its owner may cast it without paying its mana cost. This is a neat little design and probably terrible card.
Can I just say that the EDH Rec Slack channel loves this card?
Yo, this card
Okay.
can do some weird stuff. And some like
You can
cool
save your
stuff.
own creature with it, or you can mess up their token.
Or you can rebuy your ETB effect, which why would you want to? I don't know. I don't know why they're so excited. There's like common cards that the only
Yeah.
upside to this is you get to pick when it comes back. It doesn't come back right away. You
Right.
can I can do this on Mystic Snake or something
Yeah.
like that, but I don't know.
Sure, whatever.
You like
All
do
right,
it to a
next up.
Restoration Angel, and it's just like sweet forever.
Ooh.
I guess I don't know.
Yeah, now we're talking.
Yeah.
All right, Vraska's
Vraska's Scorn is in the Planeswalker deck, so I don't
Next.
think it matters
Whatever.
financially.
Tilanali Summoner, Ascend, 1/1 for 2. Gosh, I have to lean in to read this. When it attacks, you may pay X red. When you do, create X 1/1 red elemental tokens that are tapped and attacking at the beginning of the next end step. Exile them unless you have the city's blessing. Pretty cool bulk card.
Firecat
Right.
Blitz. Bulk.
All right.
DJ thinks Radiant Destiny is bulk, but I think this set is so bad that this could be $2.
That card's
Radiant
bulk
Destiny, 3 mana, white
Good bulk
enchantment,
rare.
has Ascend. When it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Creatures of the chosen type get +1/+1. And if you have the city's blessing, they have vigilance. Whatever.
It's like a worse shared triumph.
Yeah,
It's like a better Glorious Anthem, which is in tens of thousands of decks.
So is cancel.
You're canceled.
That was a good.
Silent
that was actually a good
Gravestones
retort,
are-
DJ. All right, last rare. Interesting. This is the cheapest rare. Silent Gravestone, 1 mana artifact.
This isn't the
Cards
last
in
rare.
graveyards cannot be the target of spells or abilities. Exile it and all cards from graveyards. Draw a card for 4 mana. So this is.
Oh, it's
has
not the cheapest rare, Corbin. There's like
It's
5 or 6 others
Yeah.
down. There's like a bunch
Oh,
of
sorry.
rares
The
down
next
there.
one was
You
uncommon.
just saw Merfolk
so-
and you're like, rares are done. No, Merfolk Mistbinder is going to be worth more than most of the rares in this
I
set.
gotcha. Whatever. Either way, this card is reasonable. This is legacy playable.
At $1? Yeah, at $1. Like, get foils of this for 2 because this is a $10 foil,
Yeah.
maybe.
It does not stop Godpharaoh's
Seems
Gifts
low risk,
because
right?
for whatever reason that card does not target, but it does stop refurbish.
I don't know if this
Yeah.
card's worth anything. And there are just
Probably
better
not.
cards at doing this for the same cost.
Golden Guardian. What the heck? Fights another. I haven't read this card yet. Fights another creature you control,
Oh, the
but
Guardian.
then when it
Next.
dies. Wait, what does it turn into?
Next. It turns into a thing that makes tokens.
Oh, this card's trash.
Yeah, the card's real bad.
Merfolk Mistbinder, by the way, at we skipped over that. It's, the 2/2 for blue green just gives other Merfolk control +1/+1. I think that it's probably will replace Marrow Reedry in the blue green lists, and they'll just all run 19 lands and just be very aggressive. I don't think it's that big of an upgrade, if it's an upgrade at all. But I do know that this is going to be a great breaking bulk pick 2 years from now, unless they just reprint it into the ground.
It's going to be a card you get in Draft Chaff, and it's like, oh, this was free. Thank you.
Yeah, just like pulling
25 cents
Kumena
on a buy list.
just like pulling Kumena speakers now. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely don't miss these. Same goes for the vampire one, I believe, or the pirate one, whichever one exists.
Protean Raider's cute.
All right,
I just,
so
I don't know.
all right,
There's
so
like 8
everything.
million clones. Why would you play this one?
Right.
Cost
Yeah,
3.
because you got to have
All
a
right.
race
Have it be
trigger.
3
It's
mana.
dumb.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, here's the thing: we're at the dollar level now. Is there anything that stands out to you guys?
Okay, Induced Amnesia is very suspicious to me.
Induced amnesia.
I don't... it's like it's not a bad wheel as much as it is like a potential like man, what's that card from Urza's Legacy?
This card is unplayable garbage, just like the worst kind.
When it enters,
it seems so suspicious to me. 'Cause, like,
no.
It's like one of those cards, like One with Nothing, where you're like, why would they even make this? And then
Was One with Nothing worth
it'll
something?
become clear later. This is really suspicious to me.
It's a story card. That's all. They put this here because they need to use the artwork.
It seems bad, but it's so weird that like there's. It just, I don't know. It doesn't sit right with me.
I agree.
I wrote down
story card.
Suspicious cards, and this is the only one. So I'm suspicious of Induced Amnesia.
Maybe
I'll just I'll be like, it's so bad I'm collecting them, and then I have a binder of like 200, and they're like, it's $9 now. Yeah. And I'll look like a genius.
All right, moving down the list.
Ship me your Induced Amnesias. I'll give you 10 cents for it.
Moving right on down the list. Lieutenant Lieutenant, Silvergirl Adept, both easy pulls from bulk. Say what you will about the set. It's got a handful of nice uncommons that are probably going to be worth picking here in a couple years.
This set was great for commons and uncommons.
Yeah.
There's got to be
Champion
something.
of Dusk. I assume no one cares about that. Yeah, I mean we're basically
this is what
there.
We always do. We always blow through these, and there's always a $5 card that's pre-selling for $1, and we don't.
Well, tell me what it is then. That's what I'm saying. Does anything stand? We don't need a.
Yeah, World Shaper. World Shaper. World Shaper's
there we
going to be a few dollars. Right now, it's like 50 cents, right?
Well, World Shaper is a 4-mana green 3/3 merfolk. When it attacks, you put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard. When it dies, put all land cards from your graveyard into the battlefield tapped. I like foils of this better. I've heard that this is gonna. I heard that this is would be played in the Valakut Dredge deck in Modern.
That sounds like my kind of Modern deck.
Yeah, it's the Splendid Reclamation.
Yeah, Travis Allen and I tried to brew that Splendid Reclamation deck for like 3 months, and we couldn't get it to work.
Yeah, I mean, I had no success with it when I played with it.
World
It's
Shaper
just a bad deck, but it's just like it just has a different win condition, but it's weak to graveyard hate and land hate.
Yeah.
But this I've heard will go in that. But also, I like foils and commander are a thing as well. Right,
City's
if you have
blessing
something
tokens,
that, and I don't know,
thing.
Jackal Hops maybe, whatever the cards are that destroy creatures and lands, if they destroy them at the same time, this would trigger after that, and you would get all your lands back.
Yeah.
You just kind of like Decree of Annihilation when you have this in play.
It's pronounced Yokel Helps.
Sure.
I made a list
I
with
think
stuff
Decree of
that...
Annihilation exiles, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But
that card stands out to me as a card that is... That might be the best buy of the set. That 4 mana.
All right.
World Shaper.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right.
I
stealing
made
on that
a list of all the stuff that I think is immediately.
Yeah,
decent.
Arc of Orazka is another card that. Oh no, that card's terrible. It's 5 and tap it. I thought it was just tap it. Oh my god! Or I thought it was just like tap it and 3. Okay, never mind. The card's bad.
No.
Anything else I see here?
People are talking about Crafty Cut Purse, and I don't think you're gonna really blow anybody. It seems like a worse Notion Thief most of the time.
Yeah, Crafty
and
Cut
look at
Purse
Notion
is a
Thief's price.
4 mana 2/2 with flash, blue card. And when it enters the battlefield, each token that would be created under opponent's control this turn is created under your control instead. This is really cool.
Playable Merit Lage, get him.
Yeah, that is true. That when they make Merit Lage, you don't have 4 mana. But
no,
okay.
I know. It was a joke, Corbin.
Yeah. Well, no, you say that like weird cards you play in Legacy, but the decks that make Merit Lage are either doing it before you have 4 mana, or they're not going to let you have 4 mana.
Yes.
But this seems
I mean,
it could get it's pretty fun in Commander.
Yeah, I kind of like it. You can make someone have a real bad turn, but I don't know how good it is. I think I like the Trapjaw in EDH.
What is
I
that?
like Dead Man's Chest. I kind of like Brass's Bounty if you don't have access to the 7 mana green spell that gives all your lands out of your deck. Brass's Bounty
that's garbage.
That's the Boundless
I
Realms
like
for red.
I want to like Dead Man's Chest.
Mastermind's Acquisition I like. Tender Shoot Dread I like. World Shaper I like. Famished Paladin I think is worth picking out because people are doing it with that Resplendent Mentor combo to gain infinite life and infinite 1/1 tokens. I think you picked the Chupacabra out of bulk, and I
Yep.
like Path of Discovery.
Chupacabra is probably going to get
Chupacabra
played
was
in
surprising to
Standard.
me because when I wrote my TCG Player article, it was like the second best-selling common and uncommon in the set, and I just thought it was like a good limited card. But I think that card's actually got some legs.
Because all the terrors are 4 mana, so why not have a body?
Yeah, it's,
right,
it's
and like
going
I
to be
mean,
Standard.
it's like a
playable.
Flame Tongue Kavu, like but it's like a Shriek Maw that costs 1 less and doesn't have restrictions because all the other sort of Necrattle effects are like non-black or non-artifact, but this thing's just like get them. So I actually might put it in.
You almost got through this. I've had to pronounce so many cards this episode. At least you gave us Necrattle. I appreciate that, DJ. All right, so it sounds like we all don't necessarily have a ton of hope for this set, but we've identified some stuff we think has some upside at least. So we'll see where things go. Something's got to go up. I think it's pretty clear what's going to be coming down, but there you go, Rivals of Ixalan.
It could be all the dinosaurs. I think it'll be just a group. It'll be like a deck worth of cards that all moves up together is what'll happen.
Certainly possible, yeah. All right, well, Jake, thank you again for coming on, man. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having
it's always
me.
good to have input from someone better at Magic than us, which, granted, is not hard, but thank you for filling that role for us.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to.
All right, everyone.
I don't need
this
the
is brain
deprecation from your end.
I did 3-0 coverage draft last weekend, so that's a good point.
Hey, you won a PT, so you're a little bit better than a bunch of dirtles who play EDH, so good for you.
All right, well, this is Brainstorm Brewery, everyone. Enjoy the pre-release this weekend, and we will see you next week when you can tell us how wrong we were.
Yep.